Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Valerie Z, the founder of Spiritual Cardio, a 10-week group coaching program that teaches women how to make peace with their inner truth and practice self-love, where we heal in community by interrogating our inner demons until they lose power over us. I'm bringing you the powerful spiritual practices that helped birth my transformation because I want the same for you. I'm going to teach you how to build a love story with yourself and your inner child. So let's go. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming back. This is episode 7 of the Spiritual Cardio podcast. Before I get started, I have a quick announcement to make. I'm going to be releasing episodes monthly moving forward. Quite honestly, I'm overwhelmed with all I have going on right now. I have spiritual cardio coaching, the podcast, a full-time job, and some insomnia issues that I'm trying to get under control. So it's a lot, to say the least. I'm trying to ease the pressure off myself a bit. So that means finding the right work balance that fits all that I have going on. I love doing the podcast. I write each episode and I pour my heart and soul into each one. But with all I have going on right now, I need to recalibrate my energy and pour more into self-care. This week, I decided to stop taking Ambien and allow my body and mind more time to rest in hopes of recalibrating those natural sleep rhythms. I think I might drop an episode between those monthly scheduled ones, but for now I need to practice what I preach, which is self-love. And it's not that this work pulls me away from self-love, because I love doing this. But it's the pressure to execute and the need for more balance that I'm paying attention to. And that's the beauty about doing so much inner work. You get very in tune with your body, with your needs, and your intuition. And you learn to trust that. So thank you in advance for understanding. Now back to the show. In episode 7, we're talking about mirror work. Mirror work helps you build confidence because you commit love to yourself while engaging with the spirit that lies beyond your eyes, because you're making a deliberate connection to all that you are. To look deep in your eyes and say, "I love you," in front of a mirror can be tough, and it can feel awkward as fuck. Yeah, it can, actually. Or, in my experience, it wasn't just awkward, it was really, really difficult. But I'll get into that in a little bit. But it's practicing profound compassion for the human being standing there. It's practicing vulnerability while opening your heart to you. As I've said in a previous episode, no one is coming to save us, because becoming the best version of ourselves is an inside job that only we can fulfill. And most of us have an inner critic. By doing this work, we turn that voice into our cheerleader. I know it sounds impossible, but it's possible. I understand this work isn't for everyone, because you have to get honest with yourself. And that's not easy to do, but it is necessary. Where are you falling short on love towards yourself? What parts of you do you criticize the most? Can you even look yourself in the eyes and say, "I love you"? Are you capable of deeply connecting to yourself in the mirror? Are you willing to connect with the soul behind your eyes? When I started this work, I realized I couldn't stand to look myself in the eyes. I found it so hard to make eye contact and hold it there, to deeply connect. Why? Why? That's the question we have to ask. What is blocking us from deeply connecting to ourselves? Looking back, I think it was because I knew that little girl was in there, and I couldn't stand looking at her. For many years, I lived in dissociated self-hate. I didn't know I hated myself, but my life's choices were a demonstration of it. So once I was able to see that my own behavior was responsible for my rock bottoms, I knew things had to change. I knew I had to change. And one of the most remarkable and most difficult things I did was telling myself I love you in the mirror while making eye contact. I had to face all that I was, who I'd been, where I'd been, and attempt to connect to all of it in an effort to make peace with it all. The years of dissociation with my inner child were coming to an end. That meant facing all of me and my deepest insecurity of a lack of love for myself. Dissociation was comfortable, but it became hurtful, and I just couldn't look away anymore. For many years, it was comfortable just to quickly glance at myself while getting ready, but to connect with my reflection, I'd never done that before. And when I tried, it was hard. I want you to reflect on this. Do you lack deep connection with yourself? Can you deeply connect to yourself in doing mirror work? If you've done mirror work before, I'd love to know your story. I'd love to do an episode of your guys' experience with it. So if you want to, share your stories with me via the contact page on my website, which is valeriezapeta.com. I'll include it in the show notes. But the first time I did it, it brought me to tears because I didn't believe those words, nor did I feel them. So when I say this work is hard, this is what I mean. It was hard to look myself in the eyes and say, I love you, Valerie, because I didn't believe it. But it was worth it because I was practicing a form of self-love I'd never done before. And I was practicing a form of self-love, not just for the adult me, but for the inner child looking back at me. And the more I did it, I was shedding a part of me, the part of me that was living in disconnection. Mirror work helps us shed our wounded selves and invites love in. This work is transformational. It fills your cup for you. And really, you're the only one that can fill your cup. So you do you here. And it's beautiful. It's hard at first. It's awkward at first, but it's beautiful. So try looking deeply in your eyes while standing in front of a mirror. Hold it there for a good 2 minutes. What do you feel? You might be prompted to quickly look away, but don't look away. Look into your eyes and say, your name, I love you. How does that make you feel? Seriously, pay attention to how you feel. Is it negative emotion or positive emotion? Some might find it awkward, stupid, uncomfortable, etc. But I challenge you to do this for 30 days straight. When was the last time you acknowledged yourself in such a profound way? Self-love can be practiced in many different ways, but this mirror work is a deeply spiritual experience. It demonstrates love directly into the eyes of your soul. Self-love is an inside job, like no external sources can cultivate it. It's on you. So feel mercy for the human being looking back at you. Look at her without judgment, regrets, and loathing. Pay attention to the quiet beliefs that surface while doing this. Sometimes the negative beliefs about ourselves aren't conscious. They hide in the subconscious mind and may come up as a whisper or an emotion. We need to heal those. For example, before I started this work, I always felt like I had it coming when something bad happened or when I was mistreated in some way. I felt like I deserved abuse. I felt as though I wasn't worthy of anything good happening to me. This was a subconscious belief. In doing this work, you become one with yourself by pulling those fragmented parts of you closer. And as you pull them closer, you're pulling them towards the light. You slowly lay those negative beliefs to rest by acknowledging yourself, by loving yourself daily in the ways you wish others loved you. But here, you do it for you. Your biggest insecurities can be dismantled here. Take your power back by loving yourself in the mirror. Hey ladies, are you curious about doing your inner work? Are you ready to dig deep and start loving yourself on a spiritual level? Are you interested in reaching a higher level of consciousness? If so, then this may be just what you're looking for. Spiritual Cardio is a course in transformational wisdom that combines traditional spiritual practices with real life experience. At Spiritual Cardio, we heal in community where we can be vulnerable and raw, because when one woman speaks her truth, she begins to heal, and she opens the door for another woman to speak hers. At Spiritual Cardio, every lesson is designed with you in mind. That includes practical tools with relatable real-life examples. At Spiritual Cardio, we help identify and release energetic blocks so that you can become the architect of your destiny. Head over to valeriezapeta.com to read the powerful testimonials from previous clients and register for an upcoming session. Group and one-on-one coaching is available. All sessions are live and in real time. Now back to the show. I've come such a long way, and my hope is that by doing this work, you make peace with all that you are and who you needed to be in order to survive navigating your voids. And let's be completely honest, we already know where self-loathing and judgment gets us. It makes us unhappy, and that reflects in our choices, in what we attract, and in what we allow to stay in our lives. So why not try something different? You're worth it. And if you're listening to this, it's your time. You're ready to grow exponentially. Through this work, you achieve deep-seated happiness and inner peace, which is this little, big emotion called joy. You are worthy of your encouragement, of your love. There's an amazing and beautiful soul inside of you. Let it come through. Give yourself the love you so rightly deserve, the love you were born to experience today by doing mirror work. In doing so, your life changes. Doing mirror work isn't just a self-affirming practice. It's soul work. It enriches the connection to the spirit within you, that soul that resides behind your eyes. It breeds a healthy attachment to all that you are, and it's recognizing the human being that yearns for what everyone else does. And that's pure love. In taking a holistic look at my shadow beliefs, I was giving myself the opportunity to mend the broken pieces that had me disconnected from my soul. I was looking for fulfillment in all the wrong places when the answers I was seeking were found by lovingly putting those broken pieces back together. And really, revisiting my darkest memories can make me sentimental at times, because I've come such a long way, you guys. And some might ask, well, why revisit them if you don't have to? And that's a fair question, but I do have to, actually, because after so much work and connecting the dots of my story to my talents, my breakthroughs are a gift for the world, for whoever is ready to transform their life. My journey getting up to this point is well documented because my life's purpose and my gifts are tied to my story. I was able to connect the dots only through doing my inner work. I'm a firm believer that inner work helps us remember who we are and tap in to our gifts. So I'd be selfish to keep it to myself if this work can help someone connect to their gifts. From a very young age, I've always known I needed to write a book about my life. And it was weird because this urge first arrived when I was 13. But the crazy part is at 13, I didn't realize the magnitude of the trauma, and so much had yet to happen. And then at 16, I felt that urge again. But my shadow beliefs were loud back then. I remember when the urge came at 16, I told myself, you can't be a writer. You're never going to be a writer, so get that shit out of your head. And I stopped writing for many years. I got heavily into numbing. It helped me disconnect for a long time until life called me to go inward. And when I started trying to claw my way towards sobriety, I remembered my love of writing. So I started doing my inner work. I started healing. And in the process, it's as though I remembered what I came here to do, which is write. And now I get to give my writing a voice through the podcast. And so what I'm getting at is my story, my mission to heal, my passion to write, the love and joy I found within, the glory of God and self-discovery is all part of this bigger picture. The gift of being completely vulnerable and raw in my writing can help pull someone else up. That's why I do this. That's why I started spiritual cardio. It's all part of my soul's mission. Perseverance is possible. Overcoming adversity is possible. Connecting to your destiny and your gifts is possible. And if I can help someone else do that by sharing my story, or by someone who takes Spiritual Cardio's 10-week program, then it's all worth it. And I love who I've become as a result of doing all of my inner work. So with all of that being said, do the mirror work for 30 days straight. Look yourself in the eyes as though you're looking at your best friend. And say your name with I love you after it. So, Bethany, I love you. I'm just kidding. I don't know Bethany, but Valerie, I love you. And see what happens. 30 days straight. You go to the sink. There's probably a mirror there when you brush your teeth. So if you need to put a Post-it note on the mirror to remind yourself, then do that. But do that for 30 days straight and see what happens. Write to me through the contact form on my website, valeriezapeta.com, and let me know. Let me know your stories. Let me know what transpires with mirror work or the other practices from the other episodes. I'd love to hear from you and maybe do an episode on that. But that's all I have for now. I'll be releasing episodes monthly moving forward until I can get this insomnia stuff under control. I just feel really tired and under a lot of pressure with all I have going on, but I might go back to bi-weekly, but you guys will be the first to know when that happens. And if you want to support my work, there's several ways you can show support. You can subscribe to my newsletter at valeriezapeta.com. You can subscribe to the Spiritual Cardio YouTube channel. I'll include the link in the show notes. You can share the show with some friends. You can follow at Spiritual Cardio on Instagram and Facebook. And lastly, you can donate to the show via valeriezapeta.com. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye. Hey, thank you for showing up and spending some time with me. If you loved this episode, please make sure to subscribe. And for exclusive content, you can sign up for my newsletter at valeriezapeta.com. I'll see you guys at the next show.